and backward in their life endeavors. A disheartening one is when the people lose control over their sexual life to the extent that they cannot sleep one right one night without having sex. For singles, this can delay him or her from getting married on time. Those who are involved in any form of sexual perversion, such as homosexuality, bestiality, incest, oral and anal sex practices, and excessive and indiscriminate sexual acts, are endangering their lives. People that were involved in evil together can open doors for the unholy transference of spirits to be established. Leviticus 20:13 in reference. This can also lead to strong unholy soul ties.
Y'all hear that, right? And we should know all these things. We as a people should know it, but a lot of people don't understand how powerful this thing is. And does the Bible talk about a lot of this stuff that we just read? Yes, it does. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the scriptures on it. Back to the one flesh that we read. So let's go to Matthew chapter 19. We're gonna read 5 and 6. Matthew chapter 19, 5 and 6. Talk about a couple of these things right here. Well, the Bible told us, be careful. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 19 and verse 5. Can I read forward with it, Brother
Yes,
Eliyahu?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? And said, For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let no man put asunder.
Let me get where I'm at. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 31.
All right.
Those two should become one flesh. And it says it is put together by the Most High. And that, I think I got that Corinthians that they quoted. Once you join yourself to a harlot, that woman actually becomes your wife.
That's right.
You have became her husband. That is your wife. And if we look at those situations as being that, if we would see and enforce that, I believe we will have less adultery out here, less promiscuous sexual relationship, just common, how we see how people running around just having sex with everybody. We will have less than that. If we put a law down, which the Most High did, and made it mandatory, if you have opened your quiver to a male and he is your husband and she is your wife for your entire life, unless some fornication goes on in between that. And we need to be very careful on who we put ourselves with, because we can, like I said, those souls ties. You don't think that you see women out here that keep choosing the same man over and over again. You say, man, why she keep dealing with that type of what's called? And you see brothers out here doing the same thing. He keep dealing with the same type of women. That's because he has allowed that spirit to enter into him, and she has done the same thing. The same thing. All right. Let's get to Ephesians.
All right. Do you mind if I read 28 through 31 with it?
Hey, whatever you see, I'll bring it out.
Okay. All right. It says, Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 28. It says, So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Lord the church. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bone. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
They shall be one flesh. And if you don't believe that's a spiritual takeover, something is wrong. But that is righteous. That should be a righteous spiritual takeover. But what we do, we don't care. We just go out there and just have casual sex with whoever we want to have it with, and think we. And matter of fact, as a man, we think it's a badge of honor, and not realizing what you are doing to these women that you are laying with. Women, you are not understanding what is happening to you once you lay with that man. Those are transference of spirits. You have to be
Salakia,
very careful. Go ahead.
Salakia, Hebrew. And to be honest with it, uh, brother Eliyahu, growing up, we had uncles and older brothers. You know what I'm saying? That were older than us, that were already indulging in sexual activity. Because I can remember, man, being 11 and 12 years old, and my older brothers and cousins and uncles would always say, "You don't have one girl. You have multiple girls, and you ain't doing nothing unless you having sex."
Right.
So in our community, we were really put at a disadvantage because it was put into our minds that you wasn't a man unless you was having sex with multiple women.
Yes, sir.
And what you were doing is you were ruining the virginity of these innocent young girls, making them believe that you loved them when in actuality all you wanted to do was lay with them.
That's it.
And then when they acted a fool on you, you said they were crazy.
But see, that was an issue. You don't know where it was coming from. That's why you see a lot of these prostitutes out here. That's they bugged out. You don't know where us. We think we just going in. And matter of fact, if you see later on in life that a lot of people that commit sexual crimes, it started in their youth because of what you just said. Because they have multiple sex partners.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that. Let's get where we at?
We at Proverbs 5.
Okay, Proverbs 5. Let's get Proverbs 5, 1 through 5. Let's talk about what you just brought up also.
All right. Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 1. My son, attend unto my wisdom and bow thine ears to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as in honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold of hell.
A strange woman is bitter. What say? She is bitter than wormwood. It may feel okay at that time. But you don't realize what's happening to you inside. What you have already allowed to come inside of you, even as a man, what you have done to yourself, that you have put yourself with that strange woman. We think it's a badge of honor. High-fiving each other, everything. And then I want to, I'll show that another time, where that high five actually came from, that we need to be careful on too, because that also came from a flaming homosexual that we didn't know there was and he was a brother that was playing baseball. But that's something for another day. Next, let's get that Corinthians that they showed in that 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 6. We're gonna read 15. Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, 15 through 16.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 15. Know ye not that your bodies are the members of Christ? Shall I then take the members of Christ and make them the members of an harlot? God forbid. What? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh.
You should be one flesh. So once you can put yourself with her, y'all have attached yourself together. You don't realize how strong that truly is. What we think is that it's just something just very simple. We're both the grown adults. We can handle. We should be able to handle this. But no, the Most High say you have became one flesh with that person. You are transferring your spirit through sex. That's something that we take for granted because of what we have been taught from our youth up. From our youth up. One more. No matter. Yeah, one more. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 7. We're gonna read 1 through 7. And I need to be putting this on screen, but my I'm not fast enough, but I'll get it.
All right, Deuteronomy 7,
Mm-hmm.
1 through 7. And it reads, when the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and had cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his sons, nor his daughters shalt thou take unto thy sons. For they will return, for they will, Salakia, for they will turn away thy sons from following me, that they may serve other gods, lowercase. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people.
Y'all seen in verse 4, it said what they will do, for they will turn thy sons from following me. So even with other nations, it was telling you not to it was telling you not to sleep with other nations because they will have you going after their gods. Now, that is a spiritual thing they will have you do. But what would on the physical side, what would have you doing when you start transferring these spirits? You will start going to different places that you never been before when you hook up with these people other than the one that you're supposed to be with. Especially if you start if you're in the midst of adultery with them, you have taken on that adultery spirit. You will see yourself doing things that you have when they told us, yeah, he back in the day, Steph, you remember his nose wide open right now. Yeah, she must have gave him some. We would
Yeah,
start doing all different type of things, reacting, ready to rob, steal, and kill for that woman.
disrespecting your parents, don't want to mind your parents no more.
Yep.
Can't nobody tell you nothing.
Okay, you about to tell you nothing. You a man now. You done got your, like they say, your first piece. You done got that, so your nose wide open. Now, even with the women, he can take care of me now. And most of the women, you gonna show more evidence of the man because you can end up carrying the baby.
Salakia, brother Eliyahu.
Come on.
I don't know if it's just me, but I can remember, bro, the first time that I had laid with a woman as a young boy, 11, 12 years old, and I was so in love with that girl. This ain't no lie, man. When I saw her with another guy, I felt like I was sick to my stomach.
Wow.
Like it felt like my heart was just crushed,
Mm,
and nothing can change that except for time.
mm,
Only time can get you past that situation with your first so-called love.
mm-hmm.
And as young men, if we be honest with ourselves, well, most of us, some of us was just dogs anyway, but
Yeah.
for those of us that actually, had a heart growing up as young men, that first love that we had with a woman, when that thing ended, especially when we saw her with another guy, man, that was a feeling worse than any kind of pain you could explain that you would go through as a man.
Devastated.
Being devastated and hurt by a woman. And I know women probably think it don't bother us like it do them, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. When a man really love a woman and that woman hurt that man, that thing hurt down deep in your soul, man. And it
Yes,
take a
sir.
long time before your soul ties with that person. You can
Yeah.
kind of break that thing. And sometimes some people you never get over. Like
Woo.
there'll be a certain song to come on, a
Yep.
certain smell will hit you, a certain conversation to come up, and your mind will go all the way back to that person
Mm,
that you
Mm-hmm.
thought you was over with. So
mm,
I'm gonna be honest about it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all
mm,
the truth.
mm.
That's what happens when you have soul ties,
Mm-hmm.
when you exchanging these spirits with one another
Mm.
without being married. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
this is what happens for young men. I can only speak from our perspective. But go
Mm-hmm.
ahead, bro.
Hey, anybody else want to bring anything out on it?
No, yeah, he said a mouthful then, because that's very true. But like it. It's the soul tie. That's why sometimes it can be dangerous, and you have to be careful with these things. Well, not even careful. Is you're not supposed to interact with these things to begin with. But like Brother Stephan and Brother Eliyahu had said earlier, we were taught wrong, and because we were taught wrong, we have brought things upon us that we don't even realize that we have brought upon us. That's why when
Mm-hmm.
you see a lot of these relationships nowadays, the girlfriend killing the boyfriend
Mm-hmm.
killing the girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
It's that spiritual tie. It's y'all probably wasn't even meant to be together, and because y'all was intimate that one time, it caused a soul tie that wasn't even supposed to be there. And now
That's right.
y'all done both killed y'all inheritance off of one decision, off of one lustful decision. You might have missed the person that you were supposed to be with, that God intended you to be with. You might have missed that person because of one lustful decision. And this kind of goes back to the lesson that I was teaching. Me and Steph kind of brought out on Tuesday of dealing with lust and dealing with lust and greed. That desire, it's a lot of things that comes behind that desire, that comes behind that decision of chasing that desire. And this is one of the many things. That's why you have to be very mindful of what you are getting yourself into and just flee from it altogether. But I digress. Go ahead, brother
Hey,
Eliyahu.
Salaki, I just want to make a comment on the script that Brother Tubi put in the chat about uh, give not thy soul unto an harlot that thou lose not thine inheritance.
Mm,
And what that looks like in 2025 is child support.
mm.
You look at these athletes getting with these IG models, and even just a regular everyday blue collar working guy. You sleep with a woman one time, and you get that woman pregnant, and maybe they even targeted you because they
Mm-hmm.
knew you was a good hard working guy. They
Mm-hmm.
knew they didn't want to be with you, but they wanted to get that baby or two by you because they know you're gonna go to work every day. They
Yes,
know
sir.
you're a hard working brother. Now you have ruined your inheritance. Now you paying child support for 21 years. I know it's in Mississippi 21 years,
Louis.
and they want it all. They take your license from you. You can't even drive back and forth to work to get the money to pay child support.
Mm.
But this is the judgment from the Most High in Ecclesiastes 9 um, and 3. What brother 9, 3, and 6. what Brother Two we put in the chat.
Yeah, it won't let me put it on that for some reason. Let me read the Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 3. It says, "Meet not with an harlot, lest thou fall into her snares." This is what you quoted, verse 6. It says, "Give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou lose not thine inheritance." And both y'all said some key points because, like Brother KG said, that the Most High got somebody in waiting for you now, and you would have went and slept with this other person. Now you done lost what he has for you, and you can do that because they say he will give you a way to escape. He would give you a way out, but you wanted to go the way of Hashatan, or the evil way, instead of finding that way or looking at that path that the Most High has given you, so you can continue on in that. But we all them fell victim to that thing, and hopefully that as we have our children growing up, then we can teach them different children, grandchildren. We can bring them onto what the word of the Most High says, and not go on what our older brothers or uncles or people that taught us, which what y'all quoted earlier, which is the wrong way. Men and women, you'll be all right. Uh, you the man. Here go one about this micro chimerism. Jedediah, I see you off mute. I don't know if your mic back working or not. Uh, jump in when you want to, Hebrew. Brother KG, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
I'm gonna read a little bit of this. Is what I'm talking about, the DNA or the transference of DNA into a man and woman. We're gonna read just a little bit of this, not a whole lot of it, and so we're gonna get the gist of it. Come on.
Okay. DNA is a complex molecule that houses the genetic code essential to all living things. During sexual encounter, a male sperm may reach a woman's body and fertilize her egg. As the outcome, a pregnancy develops, and the resulting embryo has DNA from two parents. But if there is no fertilization, what happens to the man's DNA? For what length of time does it remain with the woman's body? Let's investigate this intriguing subject.
Here we
How
go.
long how long do you carry a man's DNA after pregnancy? In the event that a pregnancy does develop, the infant inherits the man's DNA permanently. Certain infant cells can cross across and enter the bloodstream of their mothers even after delivery. This is called microemerism,
Micro
leaving
microchimerism. I think that's how it's pronounced.
okay, chimerism. Okay, leaving the woman with some fetal DNA for the rest of her life.
Mm.
Fetal cells also pass through the membrane of the placenta and reach the womb during pregnancy. Male fetal cells have been found in women's blood up to 27 years after delivering a son. Thus, a lady may retain her baby's father DNA for several decades following childbirth.
Y'all see that Tubi had put in that earlier, 25 years, right on point. You can see how long that male DNA can stay inside of a woman after childbirth. Now, some scientists believe that it does not even have to be a pregnancy involved. They believe that DNA stays inside of that woman even when a baby is not born. Now, you think about this when it talks about transferring the spirit through sex. Well, we see unlawful sex that was taking place here. That it read earlier in that we was reading on. Where were we in that one? Let me see if I can get it back up here again. Let me get it again. Yeah. Where was it? Unlawful. It also talked about. Here we go. Here you go, right here. Those who are involved in any form of sexual perversion, such as homosexuality. So now, not only in which is sick that you release it inside of a man into another man, we see that that DNA could possibly stand inside of the man. That's why you see a lot of them out there acting the way they act. Bestiality. The Bible tells us both man and beast shall be killed if those things goes on. Incest was another one of them that our people were having an issue with. So that's why the Most High had to come in and bring some strong laws in about insects. I think there was at Leviticus 18. And some of them they got the oral and anal practices and those things like that. But we see that the homosexuality, you got two men DNA clashing with one another. Something's gonna go on wrong. That's why you see they take on those spirits that they taking on. Let's get back to that one article where we were. Here we go. All right, here we go. As what was as much as blood. What was that?
Yeah, that's where we at.
All right.
As much as blood, this has also been found to be restricted to blood. Crucially, there is evidence that male DNA can present in body tissues where the tissue was sourced from the mother who bore male children. These studies demonstrate how fetal cells become incorporated into the mother's biological constitution. A 2012 paper, Male Microchimerism, the in the human female brain, published in what's that? Pelos one. Is that a
Mm-hmm.
L right there? Okay, and published in Pelos one, reported extracting Y chromosome DNA from the brains of women who had male children 63% of the time.
So y'all see how strong that DNA is once it reached inside of a woman, the male DNA. The Most High has orchestrated this for you to be together for a lifetime until one of y'all is gone on. That's what He has done. But we do not do that. We go us as a people. What it told you, you go sow your royal oats, especially us as men. Stephen talk about how hard that heartbreak is. Once you have, laid with a woman, you figure your feeling is that you have conquered her. The Bible says you have humbled her. Now, you as a man or as a king, you have conquered them and you have got that woman to yourself. So when you see her with another man, you have figured somebody has came in and took over your kingdom. And for a man to lose his kingdom, that's why it hurts so much to us as men. That's why we see those. We go out and commit all type of. We may take the whole family out, and or we see those murder suicides. That's why we see these things that happen with men because somebody has came in and they has conquered your kingdom. That's why it hurts so much when you see it with another man. We're gonna read maybe one more paragraph and then we'll be done with this one. We'll go back to the other one. We're gonna go back to script. My bad. Go ahead.
All right. Notably, Notably and somewhat surprisingly, microchimerism has been associated with possible positive health effects. Study shows that these fetal cells may play a part in tissue regeneration in the mother's body. For instances, for instance, fetal stems have been isolated within damaged areas of the heart, raising the possibility that they participate in cardiac repair. However, more research is required to elaborate on this finding further.
Now you think about the woman that has 4 or 5 baby daddies or different baby daddies. How they said that fetal cell can stay within her brain up to 27 years. So each one of those men is in her up to that much of a time. It says 27 years. We don't know how long it would stay inside of her. So that's why you see a lot of women that has had multiple partners or multiple baby daddies. They have issues. They cannot stay with one man. They cannot stay with one man. They have shown some of them that the father, the baby coming out looking like the first father, or the third father, second, however many it may be. but it doesn't even look like the father of the baby. That this is why, because that DNA is still within her. Those are spirits being transferred. So we need to be very careful about that. Let me try to get it.
Hey, why you pulling that Hebrew?
Go ahead.
I just want to say this. I pulled up an article and it says when two people unite sexually, they don't just exchange fluids, they exchange spirits,
Mm.
emotions, and even burdens.
Jesus.
And when you look at the Apocrypha in Sirach chapter 23, verse 16 through 17, it says, two sorts of men multiply sin, and the third will bring wrath. A hot mind is as a burning fire. You know what I'm saying? When you exchanging emotions and burdens, it says a hot mind is a burning fire. It will never be quenched until it be consumed. A fornicator in the body of his flesh will never cease till he had kindled a fire. So the fire is not just lust, it's a spirit of corruption that passes between the two people that's laying together. And this is why when people lie together with different partners, they often have multiple spirits, like what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Depression, they go through a bunch of mood swings.
Mm-hmm.
They angry all the time. That's why you see them popping their neck, and you see these dudes, you can't even talk to them. They ready to pull the strap out on you.
Yep.
Lust, confusion, jealousy. Now, these can come from those because they join together and they've shared these things. And when we have thoughts that come in our minds sometimes, and we wonder, man, where did that thought come from? Where did that feeling come from? That's those spirits that's been transferred
Yes,
from
sir.
one person to another one. And I just wanted to share that group. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And it's amazing you said that, because you some thoughts to do will come across your head. You be like, yeah, what was that? What was that about? And you hear people say that all the time, and you know that it's you supposed to be following the word of the Most High, but something would enter into your mindset, and you don't know where it came from. Those are those spirits. You have opened yourself somehow, some way to a transferring the spirit. Some way, but you put yourself in a different environment and all those things. But through those sexual experiences, it's even worse. From what I'm saying, that's why it seems like I'm on this one for a minute. Let's go. You got give me Deuteronomy. Matter of fact, give me Deuteronomy chapter 23. We're gonna read 17 and 18. Deuteronomy chapter 23, 17 and 18. Let me see if I can get it real quick.
Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 17. 1 second. Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of the Lord thy God for any vow. For even both these are abominations unto the Lord thy God.
And y'all, we read these scriptures, right? So you're like, okay, it says you should not be a whore of the daughter of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. Then we go back into 18. It's still saying the same thing. This haven't changed. I brought this out in what's called, because I used to read this scripture on a regular, and then I read of the price of a dog. See, why they threw a dog in there? What do that mean? It seemed like it was just random thrown in. But when you go to it in the Strong's, and what we had, well, that was 18. Look at the word dog and what it means. See, we see Caleb in the
Strong's H3611. Kelev.
A dog. This is what it is. A dog, in this sense, is still there. A male coat prostitute. Well, we're not talking about a male coat prostitute if it's still talking about a sodomite. A male coat prostitute sleeping with women. This is talking about a male coat prostitute that is sleeping with or laying with men. Still a sodomite, unlawful sex. This is what that means. And if the priests, the temple prostitutes, a lot of time were men. The house of the prostitutes or the homosexuals was right next door to the temple. I brought it out in one of my classes before. It's right next door to the temple. That's how close it was. And people were going out there paying for that and bringing that in as an offering into the temple, trying to bring that into the temple. All you have to do is go in there and read. You're a price of a dog. What does that have to do with anything? But we see that they are called a male prostitute or a homosexual, a sodomite is called a dog in the scripture.
I got a precept for that, Hebrew.
Bring it out.
1 Kings 14 and 11. Let me bring that out. 1 Kings chapter 14 and verse 11. He that dieth of Jeroboam in the city shall the dogs eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. For the Lord had spoken it. Arise thou therefore, get thee of thine own house, and when thy feet enter into the city, the child shall die. So this is a reference to the dogs that you're talking about right there. Because right here, the Most High is destroying.
Mm-hmm. It's another one that y'all in Revelation when he told John, measure everything, but don't measure the outside because it's for the heathens and the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So who are those dogs they're talking about? This is how bad he felt about it. So once we read these scriptures and try to get some understanding on it, because Paul dealt with this. I got a series that I was doing on what Paul was talking about. I called it Correct. And Paul was dealing with all of these things. I'm going to get back to it after I finish this series up. But he was dealing with this on an everyday level. That's why he was telling, hey, men, uncover your heads. We need to see who you are. Men, you should have hair like a woman. We need to make sure. And that's why he was bringing all these things out, because they were dealing with this over in with them Greeks. But I'm gonna get back to it. But I just brought that, like to say, we learning something all the way to learning something. So that dog was a male coat prostitute. All right. Trying to see if anything else I wanted to bring out with that. You had the First King. Matter of fact, let's just stay in First Kings and go to chapter 11. First Kings chapter 11, we read 1 and 2.
1 Kings chapter 11 and verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women together with the daughters of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonianites, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in to them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love.
He did what?
He clave these in love.
He clave unto him. The wisest man that ever lived still couldn't get away from those women bringing him to serve these other deities or these other gods. That is a spirit that happened with this once you start involving yourself in this into sex. Into it. Solomon clave unto it. He told him, do not deal with them. They will have you serving someone else other than me. Don't deal with them.
It's a lot.
Come on. Bring it
Well,
up.
I just want to add to this what we're talking about right now. Brothers and sisters, what we have to understand about this is detrimental no matter what side you on. Because as a male doing this, you lose a very strong possibility of the connection that you could have with the Most High. This thins that connection, whether you realize it or not. And we make the bad mistake. Even back then and in today's time, we make the bad mistake of thinking that this earthly love is more important than what the Most High has for us. And you can't do that because you see what it caused Solomon to do. You see what it caused the men that was taking wives of the other nations after the Most High told them not to. They ended up having to get rid of their children. They ended up having to put away their wives. You know what I'm saying? So this is you got to understand how detrimental this is, and that's just from the male's perspective. Now, from the woman's perspective, um, it's worse because you are being a detriment to yourself, but you're also being a detriment to your children.
Mm.
And we haven't been taught this. You know, we Salaki, we haven't been taught this because of the way we grew up, but it's still something that's severe, especially in today's time.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
digress.
Like they told you, even in those sense that menstruous women would bring for monsters.
Hey,
So that
Shalakia.
spirit, go ahead, bring it up.
Hey, all praise the Most High. I'm in this thing. It's been a rough thing because, man, the devil didn't want me in this conversation.
Bring it
And
out.
man, I can tell you from personal experience, like Ox Steven said, man, and the other brother. I'm sorry if I can't remember your name at the moment, but
Are you
you're
good, bro?
right. You're right. That virginity is a important thing, and y'all said it. Lord will make a way out, but the devil oftentimes want to dictate your options. So when you're in those positions, and again, when we were coming up, we weren't given the tools to understand. Let's say laws of power, laws of just these different rules of the game that the enemy already understands, but we behind the plate. Or in some of us, when we were growing up in Christianity, they didn't tell us the rules of the game, so we didn't understand the game of a harlot. We were just told to stay away from it. But when we were in situations that were brand new or exciting to us, guess what happened? We didn't understand what to do. So a
Mm.
lot of that times, a lot of people, and I know brother's gonna bring that out in a little bit. Sometimes you have witches that seek out people who have virginity because they get something out of it. There's a transfer they get. So, but like you're right, we lose our connection. We lose that because we're in this truth, we're in this walk. If we have a relationship with the Most High and we're virgins, so guess what? We have a special connection. But when we lose that, I digress. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but just to add on to what you're saying, brother, you're basically saying is like you have a pure connection, and when
Mm-hmm.
that is taken from you, like we kind of went back over this on we went back over this in part one. When it's taken from you, like when you're dealing with a succubus spirit or a
Yep.
incubus spirit,
Yep.
these types of energies are so they have so much power in them, they come
Yeah.
after you.
Yeah.
And like the connection that you have begins to get severed because of that when
Yep.
you dibble and dabble in these things. And let's just say that let's just say that you're not a virgin and you still have a high spirit or high energy spirit. It can still be a detriment to you. It now, whether it's bad whether virgin or not virgin, but it's the transfer of energy. It's the like, and this is probably more critical than somebody bumping your elbow. That's another thing that we discussed on part one.
Yep.
Somebody can touch you the wrong way and steal some of your aura, steal some of your spiritual, blessings and stuff like that. But if that's all it takes for your elbow to bump somebody that's into this type of witchcraft, just imagine how much worse it could possibly be when you're having a sexual relationship with these type of people.
That's because it's a blood covenant.
Yep.
Exactly.
These
Yep.
people operate on laws, whether we realize it or not. Some kind of people operate, whether you know or not knowing as a witch. They operate on laws. They are very legal. Like demons are very legal, and so they understand those things. They understand their agreements and covenants. That's something that the Most High tried to tell us, and this is why he was so staunch on how we approach him. We have to approach him with a certain discipline. On, like your brother said on Wednesday, we have to honor our power because he is worthy of that honor. I digress.
All praises, bro. Appreciate you, brothers, bringing that out. Appreciate you, brothers, bringing it out. I'm hoping the people getting some edification on this because it is going forward. We give all praise and honor to the Most High, man. Appreciate you, brothers, for that. Um, let's get this Second Samuel, Second Samuel chapter 13, and this is all this happened because of what David did. If you believe it or not, all these things start to happen as soon as David took that man's wife. We started to see, uh, we started to see major issues going on in his life, with all the way down the line from especially sexual perversion. When his son slept with his concubine, and now we're gonna see one here what his son did. Let's get this Second Samuel chapter 13. We're gonna read 1 and 2, and then we're gonna skip down to 10 through 15. But right now we're gonna read 1 and 2.
All right. Second Samuel chapter 2 and verse 13. I mean chapter 13 and verse 1. And it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister, whose name was Tamar. And Amnon, the son of David, loved her. And Amnon was so vexed
Mm.
that he fell sick
Uh,
for his sister Tamar.
for his sister.
That's
Jeez.
right.
He fell sick for his sister. You don't think that some type of spirit has went over him to make him feel that way about
sir.
his own sister?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
All right. And Amnon was vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin.
Y'all just said that. Didn't y'all just say that? Come on.
And Amnon thought it hard for him to do anything to her.
Y'all, you see, we saw in that also in that transfer in the spirits again. It talked about what was it right here? Incest. It talked about incest. Well, this is what's happening right now. For something to come over you like that, it's either a spirit has came down from your parents. We talked about that in the class, I believe. What was it? Did we talk about it last week in that class?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
we talked about that. So it came down from David, from what he had done, and it was all type of sexual immorality that was going on within his household.
And
But
you know
now we
what's
see
good,
that. Come on.
Salaki. When you look at that story with Bathsheba, right?
Uh-huh.
And everybody see that particular child right there died, they think that was the end of the judgment for David. But no, sir. No, sir. We
No,
still
sir.
witnessing it all the way to Absalom.
Yep.
And then all the way to Solomon.
All the way to Solomon.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Shalakia, real quick, let's look at the beginning of that too. King David's first wife was Michael, correct?
The daughter
I
of
can't
Saul,
remember
right?
her name.
The daughter of
Saul's
Saul.
daughter.
She was
Can't
the
remember her
daughter,
name.
youngest daughter, King Saul.
That's
King
right.
Saul
That's right.
was jealous,
Mm-hmm. Right, right.
wanted to kill David. So what did King Saul do? He made him pay a dowry, which is normal in the in that time. But when David escaped Saul, Saul married Michael to another
To
man,
another man. So did Hebrew.
Yep.
You sure
and then
right.
when Michael was returned to David, their marriage went bad, and she started tripping like her father did.
Because she had a
Mm-hmm.
soul tied to that other man, Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
She had a,
That was
Mm-hmm.
the
and she
start of
hated
that,
David. She hated David.
right? That was the
So
start of
did.
that.
You right,
Just
Hebrew. That's a great point.
Yep, and just to add to it, and this actually is a. I'm glad you brought that out, brother, because this is the good point to my example that I'm finna bring out. You never know who have what on them. That's why
Mm.
it's best for you to wait for who the
Mm,
Most High has intended for you.
mm,
You don't. Some people don't even now. It's some people that's aware, and I keep bringing this up, but it's important because a lot of people don't be realizing this. But some people don't have the. Some people don't realize that they got an incubus spirit on them or a succubus spirit on them. Some people don't realize it. Then you deal with these people, and now you wondering where your energy done went to. You wondering why you didn't got drained, or you wondering why this type of situations and circumstances have came into your life. You know what I'm saying? Then there's the people that do know. Once they done with you, they on to the next person they can drain if they can't get no more energy from you. And then
mm,
that's when you begin to chase like brother Stephen was bringing out earlier. That's when that pit in your stomach started getting lower and lower because now at this point you thinking it was one thing, but the whole time they was chasing you for your spiritual energy.
mm. The spiritual vampire.
Mm.
Yes, sir.
Mm, mm. Uh, all right, let's get that what you were talking about. You have accomplished what you have accomplished, sometimes that spirit just leave and don't want to be there anymore. And we read. Let's go back into this Second Samuel, and we're gonna read 13. We're gonna read 15. What I have?
You said 10, didn't you? 10 through.
Yeah, 10. We're gonna start at verse
Okay.
10. That's right. Second
Okay.
Samuel 13. We're gonna start at verse 10 and read it down to 15.
All right. Second Samuel, chapter 13 and verse 10. And Amnon said unto Tamar, bring the meat into the chamber that I may eat of thine hand.
Hey, Salaki, real quick. Y'all remember the story? He linked up with one of his. I think it was one of his buddies, right? He linked up with one of his buddies, and he told him what he should do. Act as you if you sick. So that association again, those spirits are transferring. Act like you sick and have her to bring you something in there to feed you. That association, what we talked about last week, of who you dealing, who you around. So he has somebody working with him also with that. Come on.
Treachery. Chapter, verse 10. And Amnon said unto Tamar, bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thine hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made and brought them into the chamber to Amnon, her brother. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her
Mm.
and said unto her, come, lie with me, my sister.
My what?
My sister.
Wow. Wow.
And she answered him, nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel.
Mm, mm,
Do not thou this folly.
mm, mm, mm.
And I, whether shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Now therefore, I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee. Howbeit, he would not hearken unto her voice, but being stronger than she, forced her and lay with her.
Mm.
Then Amnon hated her exceedingly.
Once he's done with her, not because at first we read up there how much his soul was vexed because he was sick after her.
That was a spirit,
Now,
Hebrew. That was a
after
spirit.
right, and now after he has got what he wanted, that spirit left. It accomplished what it wanted to accomplish. That spirit is no longer within him anymore.
That's awful. That's
We
awful.
was watching something on years ago. Me and my rib was watching a guy killed his mother, and once he came to into reality in the courthouse, you can see like something just left him, and he couldn't do nothing but holler and scream. Like the spirit has already left. It's gone now. At first, it had him all built up, smiles on his face, everything. After he killed his mother, but once that spirit left, when he got in there, and you see that it left up off of him, he dropped, screamed and hollered, shouted, and he couldn't believe what happened.
Wow.
But those things is that transfer in the spirit where we need to be careful on who, like they say, we rub elbows with. And what KG had brought out about them, we got to prove these people instead of just going right in. We need to prove them first. I see IUIC always talk about that themselves. They would prove them. If you want a friend, prove them. And don't tell them how long will it take for them to prove them.
Salaki,
Come
Salaki,
on.
and I'm glad you brought that up, brother Eliyahu, because that's another problem in today's time.
Mm-hmm.
It would back in the times of the Bible, it would take a minimum of 2 years to be proven.
Hmm.
How often do you see people get married after 6 months nowadays? Now, I ain't saying that that's a good thing or a bad thing, but the Bible tells us that you suppose there is no limitation on proving somebody.
Right.
There's no limitation on getting to know this person and making sure they are compatible with you on every aspect that you need them to be compatible with you on. And in today's time, it's like, like boyfriend and girlfriend. You can't find that nowhere in the scriptures.
Nowhere.
You can't find it nowhere in the scriptures. But
Nowhere.
people use that as a justification to act like they married, to act like they are in these covenants that they have not even, you know, did properly with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So this within itself is critical because it's another thing in today's society that is holding us back in a sense because you are going off of your type, and that's another thing. You're going off of your type or what you think you may like. Whole
Mm-hmm.
time, the person or the things that you think you may like or not may not be the things that's meant for you.
Mm.
And if you would have did the proper pruning, the proper proving that you were supposed to do, you would have probably figured that out before you became a baby mother or a baby father or caught a STD that you can't get rid of
Mm.
or got into a relationship with somebody that's crazy, so on and so forth. No matter what the situation may be,
Right.
and that just goes to show the importance of taking these procedures that the Most High has given us to follow thoroughly
Mm-hmm.
because it just removes the chance of failure. If every person has a 40 to 50% failure rate doing it their own way, and we all know that it can be way higher than that. I'm just throwing numbers out there. But if you sit here and follow the procedures in which the Most High has given us to follow, your failure percentage goes extremely down. If there's any failure.
Mm.
And I just people we got to keep that in mind when we are making these certain decisions because this ain't no a lot of times when you get in decisions like this or you're making decisions like this ain't something that you can come back from, especially if you back to back with making wrong decisions.
Right. 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 Habitual bad decision making.
Right.
I'm echoing. Turn your mic on. It's on. All right.
That was my mic up.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm getting an echo.
Yeah, I have a weird setup because you know,
All right.
I had all kinds of stuff over here. I was gonna bring something out. Part of that is what brother was saying. Part of it is some of us are afraid to be alone. Now, the scripture said, the Most High said, it's not good for man to be alone. But sometimes we are so afraid of being alone, we're willing to make some really compromising decisions instead of letting the Most High give us, for men in particular, give us the rib that He wants for us. So
Mm.
that's
Very
another
true.
issue. We trying to rush the process and not let him be the God in our lives that he is. And that's
That's
part
right.
of the problem. A lot of people don't want to be alone, or a lot of people don't. It's also the fear of missing out too. A lot of people, a lot of people fear. They hear people hype up sex so much that they
Yeah.
think they're missing out on something. But then also too, the inclusion part of it where, oh man, you walking around, you ain't having sex, something wrong with you. You might be gay, you might be this because you ain't trying to get after these girls or whatever the case may be, and that
Right.
might not be the case. So that's why it's important for us fathers to teach our sons to let them, like the scriptures say, give them a good solid foundation, because when the rains start coming, the storms start coming, they can stand on solid ground. The other people gonna fall in the sand or fall wherever they lie.
Hmm. And then, like Ak was saying, it's no time limit on proving them. It may take a long time, but these days we hearing them talk about you late if you ain't get it on the first date. Like man, and those are the women talking. Those are the women saying that. So they don't these days they don't care. They just took them out, showed them a good time, gave them something to eat, and act as if they had money that they got to give them. Or some of the women say, yeah, "I'm going out here to smash." Oh yeah, I smashed him out.
Hey, they
These
call them sassy.
Yeah.
Brother Eliyahu. If you don't try to sleep with them, they call you sassy.
right, right,
You gotta be gay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
mm,
That's the real meaning of what they call demon time right there.
mm, mm, mm. Finish that 15 for me, huh?
All right. Verse 15. Then Amnon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he loved her. And Amnon said unto her, Arise and be gone.
And be gone. Just like that spirit left him. He put her
Yeshua,
away just like that. Put her away just like that. Just like the spirit left him, it was done. It has done that evil thing. She said, "Don't let nothing like this evil be done in Israel." Let's go talk to. Let's go talk to the king. Let's go talk to our father. He said, "No, I ain't. He already knew David was gonna make the right decision. No, this can't happen."
I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, right. That's that spirit. Tell him
That's
don't
right
do
now,
it.
spirit.
Mm-hmm. Leviticus. Let's get Leviticus. Leviticus chapter 18. Leviticus chapter 18, verses, we're going to read verse 23 through 25.
All right. Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 23. And it reads, Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself with, neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereunto.
Mm,
It is confusion.
it is confusion.
Defile not yourselves in any of these things. For in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you.
Mm. So y'all listen to that. These things it was telling them not to do because this is the things that the other nations was doing. So not only you taking on that spirit of doing this bestiality, you're taking on the spirit of another nation that the Most High has already cast out.
And verse
That's what
25 say, and the land is defiled.
the land, you have ruined the whole land. It's defiled by doing these things.
Therefore,
So you have taken on the spirit of another nation. But you know when they started to call you Gentiles, and they told you were Gentiles, and they told you that you don't have to follow these laws, you don't have to do it. You have taken on another spirit, and you have taken on another spirit of another nation. All right, what we at?
verse 25. Let me
All right,
finish
go
that up.
ahead. Yeah,
And the
finish that up.
land is defiled. Therefore, I do visit the iniquity thereof unto it. And the land itself vomited out her inhabitants.
Mm, mm. And the Most High is pure. So what He told you to do, and you start to copy after the other nations, you have taken on the spirit of the other nation. And the Most High said, "You can't live here." We say, "You can't live here anymore. You gone. Not even in the land." That's why we were thrown out of the land because we were taking on spirits of other nations. All right, that is going to be it on spirit
So we looked
through
at 20
sex,
in
unless
chapter
either
20.
you brothers want to bring anything else out on that. But
Yeah,
we
let me
gonna
get that. Let me get that chapter 20 for you, Hebrew. That 15 and 16.
okay. That's right. I do have chapter 20 in there. Let me. I'm overlooking it myself. Appreciate y'all.
Okay. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 15, and it reads, And if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death,
Mm,
and ye shall slay the beast.
uh,
And if a woman approach unto any beast, and lie down thereto, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast.
mm-hmm.
They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
So even in that bestiality mindset, because most beasts that we're gonna have around is gonna be lawful beasts that we're gonna be eating. So once you have done that to that beast, you don't want. Matter of fact, you can't take that beast as an offering to the Most High for a sacrifice at that time. Mm. Or you shouldn't take that beast to feed your people with. This is why when you start reading about in the New Testament, you start hearing about groups like the Essenes and all of these things. Those groups. This is why they became pretty much vegetarians or vegan, because they thought that all beasts were defiled. Each and every last one of them was defiled because of acts like this right here. That's why they didn't eat flesh. And that's why Paul was contending with in the scripture, because of things of this sort.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Hey, Shalaka, here's another aspect that we also know about with these heathen nations. We don't need to be laying down with them, because guess what? They have unclean animals, because they're not bound to these laws. So you don't know what kind of foolish, wicked, filthy wickedness they into. So you could, one of my brothers, he had posted, he said, man, if you look at it, most STDs probably came from bestiality. So you don't know, a lot of these heathen nations doing that kind of stuff. She'll mess around and lay with a horse one day, and then lay with you another day, and you coming up with all kinds of bacteria that just coagulated, and now you walking around with herpes. I don't know. I'm just saying, but you know what I'm saying.
A horse piece or something. I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
That stallion, whatever it is.
Let me say stallion transmitted disease. All right, let's get this transfer of the spirits through television. Where you at, brother KG?
I'm here.
All right. Can you see that? You there?
Yeah, I'm still here. It's still showing the blue letter on my screen.
Oh, my bad. It sure is. I don't know why it's doing that. Why didn't it transfer? Hold on. Let me go back to it. They're gonna make me stop. It won't let it transfer again. I can get it back up here though. Should be it right there.
All right, 1 second.
Let me know when you see it.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay.
You want to read 5, correct?
Yeah, 5 transfer through television.
All right. Transference of spirits through television. The spirit of immorality can easily be transferred through watching pornography. It is the same way the Holy Spirit of our Lord Jesus Christ can be transferred by watching programs that encourage soaking in the word, praise, and worship of God.
All right, I'm gonna go even further than that. We talk about television. It's talking about these phones that we have in our hands too, because most of us watch our telephone more than we watch television. Most of us watch your telephone more than we watch television. Even us, and it's true, because a lot of times, you at work, you're doing a lot of, especially if you're teachers, you're doing a lot of research. You're pulling up articles like right here, what I have on the screen, and most of the time we have our telephones at our hands to pull those things up. If we're watching anything from YouTube to you out there, something broke on your car, you want to learn how to fix it, you're going through YouTube, watching videos from your phone. All of these, most of us have these telephones in our hand more than a regular television. And they used to put, they got what are those the ratings they have for television? Adult rating, rated R, rated X, rated PG-13, all those things. And they'll tell you, well, this is adult content. And then in there, they show you what they're going to have in there. To be honest with you, there's no such thing as an adult movie. If it has it in there, even us as adults shouldn't be watching those things. We shouldn't be looking at it, because those spirits will transfer. This is why when people watch pornographic movies, they try to bring that into their house. It can't. They are not satisfied because they can't act or create the act that they has just been watching. Uh, but we sit here and think that it's okay because we have reached an age that we can watch these things on TV, and they have put it adult content, get the children out the room, and we sit here and watch it. But no, shouldn't be watching it because we, in our mind, we it still affects us in a way that it shouldn't be affecting us, or because we're watching that. Let me get I didn't send these Steph. I'm gonna get Philippians chapter 4. And we get 6 through 8. I didn't know how if we was gonna even make it to it. That's why I didn't send those.
Okay,
The
okay.
Philippians chapter 4, 6 through 8.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me get over that book.
And if y'all have any input y'all want to put on this about watching things through television, watching your phone, you bring it up.
Well, while brother Steph get the script, I'll just say this. You know, once again, brothers and sisters, we fail to realize how detrimental this can be. And let's just use the kids for an perspective. When we was growing up, you had your little pop gun, you had a water gun, that's all you really had. And it wasn't nowhere near as violent as some of the things that you see in these cartoons nowadays, that you see in I mean, just these short reels on Facebook, Instagram, whatever your preference is of your social media, there is something detrimental on there. Like I know when I first came into teaching with Brother Steph and them, they had a video of what these, I guess it was these Edomites. They was just basically trying to brainwash your kids into doing stuff they had no business, and like basically brainwash them into thinking that homosexuality is okay. And this is just one example of many, but it's gotten to the point where we think pornography is the main problem, and don't get me wrong, it is a big problem. But what we have to understand is that they're not targeting us, they're not targeting the adult, they're targeting the children. They're making kids porn now. They making skits and different things that um just exposes children to things that they definitely shouldn't be exposed to. And I'm glad that we even on this topic, and I'm actually looking forward to the next topic because if you think about it, the 5 was about television, 6 said something about books, but both of those tie together when you really think about it because I'll just give an example for the sake of time. Them books that you can buy where they be having like the sexual fantasies in them.
You're right.
You know
I
what I'm
was
saying?
reading that.
That makes your imagination turn
Right,
pornographic.
right. Well, her husband scheduled a pool boy to come to the house before he went on his business trip.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
hey, we be thinking of it as harmless entertainment until you looking for that one person that you already had a crush on, and you want to reenact things that you read in a book, or you want to reenact those things that you seen on television. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we be thinking it's I'm just I like that, it was a vibe, whatever you want to call it, but the whole time it's something deeper than that, way deeper than that.
Salaki,
Go ahead.
Salaki. I used to read this book series back before I came into the truth. And even really before I was in the church for real. It was called The Trailsman, and it was a Western series. And there was this guy that was in the book, and he was this gunslinger guy. And that's what he would do. He would go on these conquests. People would hire him to go out and hunt people down and do all of these different things. But the moral of every book, every book in the series was he would sleep with all of these women.
Mm,
Oh no.
mm.
Um,
James
but
Bond.
but that's been something that's because those books were probably written in the 70s, maybe even the 80s. Like it was a series called The Trailsman. Just to add on to what y'all brothers saying. Um, and see what we got to understand too, brother Eliyahu, if you don't mind.
Bring it
Um,
up.
The transfer of spirits through television and media, spirits enter through our ears and through our eyes too. I don't know if you got Matthew 6 in your notes or not.
No, no, sir, I don't have it. But you want to bring it out?
Yeah, yeah. Let me bring that out.
All right.
Matthew chapter 6 and verse 22 and 23. Um, it reads, Matthew 6 and 22 reads, no man can serve. Let me make sure. Matthew 6, 22. It says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy
Mm,
whole body shall be full of darkness.
mm,
If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is the darkness? No
mm,
man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon.
no, sir.
So the Bible tells us, Hebrew, that our eyes and ears are the gates to our soul.
Mm,
That's
So
right.
what you watch and listen to has power to make imprints on
mm,
your spirit
mm.
if you're
Mm-hmm.
not careful.
Mm-hmm.
And just one precept on that, Hebrew, if you don't mind.
Bring it up.
Um, Romans 10 and 17. Romans chapter 10 and verse 17, and it reads, so then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God.
Mm,
But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily. Their sound went into the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world.
mm.
But I say, did not Israel know? First Moses said, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people, and by a foolish nation I will anger you. So we see in the scriptures that faith comes by hearing the word. Then unbelief, lust, violence, rebellion can also come by hearing wickedness and watching
Yes, sir.
wickedness. So it
Yes, sir.
works both ways.
That's
All
right.
right.
Righteousness can come in through hearing and sin, and wickedness can come in through hearing and sin. I yield, Hebrew. Go ahead.
All depends on what you put your faith in. If you put your faith in that wickedness, it's gonna come by your hearing and sin. Just as you said, that's what's gonna happen. And a lot of us put our faith in that.
I
Those
think
are spirits that we have taken on that we shouldn't have.
Salakia. I want to add to what both of y'all saying. I think I think another dangerous playing field that we don't a lot of us don't be careful with, don't check ourselves with the way we should is affections. Affections is another form as well. It's I would say I would call it the pre-stage of lust.
Mm,
And we don't realize it because it involves our feelings. It involves something that we feel that we need to have, or that we're not getting, or a combination of both. And when Brother Stephen was bringing that out, it made me think about this. But I want to precept Colossians 3:2. We supposed to set. Colossians 3:2 says, "Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth." And that goes back to this worldly love that we have grown, that we have all grown to know. That goes back to this worldly, anything worldly that you sit here and you put before the Most High. It turns as an affection, and then it goes into lust or a lustful desire, and then it turns into idolatry. Now you sitting here, you're swimming in a pool of sins that you didn't even intend to have yourself in, but because you was focused on the things in the world, it got you to your destination of where you at now. And that's why, like both of y'all are saying, it's important that we be girded up. It's important that we know what we are dealing with and what we need to stay away from. So when these attacks do come, you know the proper, like brother Jedediah said a while ago, you have an exit there because the Most High always gives us an exit. But I
yep.
digress. Go ahead, brother Eliyahu.
He's gonna give you that way to escape. Most of the time, it's not gonna come on you and hit you real hard. It's gonna gradually creep itself in there,
Mm-hmm.
and you gonna keep going in like it's like you done got into the pool at the 2 feet level. But you and what are you the thing that you're after that is forbidden for you to touch is over there on that deep end. You gonna want it. You gonna inch forward. You gonna keep reaching. You gonna keep going, and before you know it, it's gonna have you underwater, reaching, still reaching for it, trying to get up out of there before you know it. So we need to be very careful on those things. I feel what you're saying on that
Hey,
because it's gonna
Slacky.
gradually pull you and take you on in. It's not just gonna drown you all at once. Because matter of fact, it's an experiment they do with a frog. They say if you put the frog in a skillet and put fire up under that frog, and you gradually turn the fire up, slowly turn it up. That frog will not jump up out of there. But if you turn it up quick, he gonna jump and leap. But if you gradually turn it, his body will start to adapt to the heat until it gets to the point where he don't realize it can't adapt anymore, and it just takes him out. It kills him. That's what sin, or that's what this lasciviousness or these things that we're looking at. They will show you something innocent on TV, innocent on your phone. You may be on your phone watching something, you know,
They
just
normalize things.
race cars. Well, you watching these race cars on here, and the next thing you know, you keep seeing the one to start the race. She got a 2-piece bikini on. You don't forgot about the cars that you like watching, and you checking her out now. And now you try to figure out what's her name, what's her IG. Does she have a video? You going through all these levels, going to the thing that you just went from. You thought was so innocent that you were just watching a race cars. It will not hit you all at once. It will gradually creep in, and it will grab you there, and then it will drown you. All right. Let's get this Philippians real quick. Unless your brother got anything else y'all want to say.
I did. Shlaki, I did. I was going to say something what that brother was saying, but when you came to the frog thing, I actually forgot. But what you were saying, it's called normalization. They do something very slight, very short, very small, and they make it normalized. That's why a lot of times you'll see symbols in places. It
Mm.
causes you to recognize certain satanic symbols. So when you're in the midst of something, you won't it won't be there. It's like what was that movie? They Live, where they have the message behind the symbols. But now I'm back to that point. One thing that I'm very grateful of, if you brothers been doing lately, is you've been telling the concrete truth about things. So what I mean by that is, when we're coming up, we were told not to do something, but we didn't understand why. This the wicked man always understood why. That's why they were able to do it. But when we didn't get an explanation of understanding and just say, well, just have faith. Well, guess what? Ignorance doesn't always breed faith. Sometimes ignorance is a door that they use to take advantage of you, because that's how some of us got caught up in a lot of things. Because
Right.
that's what we didn't know the door. We
That's
didn't know
right.
the door that the Lord had a way of escape. So now you feel it's almost like you feel trapped in the open room situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why it's important to have these have the okay, have these types of conversations with each other. Have these types of conversations with our children. So when the devil does come to try to have that conversation, they can recognize that.
Right.
But we also have the gift of the scriptures. Most of us have the gift of prophecy, so we can educate our children. Because, like you had said before in a lesson back in the day, we have a lot of people trying to, and it's not. I'm not talking about this group, but you have a lot of preachers and teachers teaching as an unskilled swordsman. So
That's
they're
right.
really teaching you how to fight blindly where the enemy
Mm-hmm.
has 8 eyes. That I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
All praise. All praise to the Most High. Appreciate that input. Appreciate it. Get Philippians. We're gonna get Philippians chapter 4. We'll read 6 through 8.
All right, Philippians chapter You said chapter 4, 6 through 8.
Uh, yes, sir. Philippians 4, 6 through 8.
All right. Philippians chapter 4 and verse 6. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer
Mm,
and supplication with
hmm
thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto Yah. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus.
That's what we need. That peace that will keep our hearts and mind through Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, through Christ Jesus. Come on.
Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true,
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think of these things.
Mm,
Those
mm.
things which ye have both learned and received, and heard, and seen in me, do, and the God of peace shall be with you.
Hallelujah. 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 Let me get Matthew chapter 5. We're going to get 27 through 30. So everything that is pure, these are the things that we need to be looking upon. Anything. You be looking at television or looking at a show. I mean, Marvel comic shows. Back in the day, they had when we used to watch these shows like Superman, Batman, and Flash and all that. It seemed back then they were innocent. They didn't have all this stuff in there. Now you go watch these shows on here, you'll start to see all type of vulgar things that's happening there, and they will mostly use our people to push it, to
That's
grasp
right.
us.
That's right, bro.
And so then, but as soon as you see that, cut it off, shut it down. Let's go back into what we say into the Bible or into prayer. What we seeing right here. All right, we got a couple more scripts, and we're gonna get ready to end. I don't want to run over my time too much. Where we at? What I said, Matthew chapter 5. I think I said it right.
Yep, Matthew 25. Matthew
Hold on.
25.
I'm sorry, I misquoted then. Matthew 5. Let's get Matthew
Okay,
5
okay,
and Matthew
okay,
5, 27 through 30. Maybe I misquoted.
okay. I got you. Matthew chapter 20, Matthew chapter 5 and verse 27. It is still 27 through 30, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, had committed adultery with her already in his heart.
Mm, and look, I'm gonna tell y'all, there's unlawful lust is wrong. Lusting after something, lust is a strong want, a strong desire to want something. In this scripture, this matter of fact, I'm gonna get it real quick in the Strongs, so y'all can see. Whoever looking upon a woman, and this scripture is not just talking about a woman, because you can be a single man and you can see a beautiful woman that you will have in your mind. I want to marry that woman. That is lust for her. I would love for that woman to be my wife. That is lust. But in here, it's not talking about just a woman, because you can't commit adultery with someone that's not a spouse or betrothal. Here we go right here. Now, in this sense, we have to look at it when it says whoever look upon a woman, they're not just talking about a woman of any age, a virgin, but they are talking about a married woman. And right here we say they're talking about a wife, or a woman that's engaged. So when we read that, because you have single people out here that they do have the Google eyes for each other. They want to connect and talk to one another, and you just say as innocent. You can be innocent. That could be considered Lust is a strong desire to want something, but forbidden lust is where the problem comes in at. And forbidden lust is lusting after a woman that is married or engaged or supposed to be espoused, that is espoused to another. That's what this is what Christ is telling you. So, but we should not be looking upon those things. When we look at that TV or look at your phone, and you're gawking after these women, you gawking after these men, you could be married. You don't know if those women are married or espoused to one another, to someone else. Let me go back to it. All right. Go ahead and continue your reading.
All right, verse 29. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out, and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell.
Mm-hmm.
And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off, and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell.
That's right. That's right. Did you get 30?
Yeah, that was 30.
All right. This is something that we need to be very careful of what we look at. And if something is causing it, we don't harm ourselves or cause any type of self-harm to ourselves. So the best thing for us to do, any social media sites that you're on, you can't control yourself on, from Facebook, Instagram, or whatever's out there, TikTok, Twitter, all those things, cut them off. Cut those things off and be more focused on the word of the Most High God. This is what we should be doing. Because, like you said in the article, they put television, but it goes beyond television because we have more access to these things that we shouldn't be having to than the television. Second, where we at? 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 22. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 22. And this probably going to be the last scripture for the day. And we can get some closing out words. So we won't go over that time.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Flee also youthful lusts,
Mm-hmm.
but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace, with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart.
Flee from those youthful lusts and call on the Most High with a pure heart. RKG have brought something out earlier about it's just not all about the sexual part of lusting after what they try or put in our face on television. Some people could be on the game too long. All day. You got 8 hours on the game, 12 hours on it, and locked up in your room playing whatever type of video games they have out there now. I don't even play them, so I don't even know what they would be called. But whatever they have out there right now. And that right there is taking you away from the Most High. That is putting another spirit on you because you're not supposed to be there all day, 12, 13 hours a day playing a video game. Doing nothing. So now you got a spirit of slothfulness on you, laziness, and all type of things. Your language probably is going through that. You're getting upset because you're not winning, or you are a top dog if you are. You the big monkey. These things put all type of spirits on you, and we need to be very careful on how we allow those things to enter our life. Because a lot of us get on these games and we'll forget about this. We won't bring out the Bible. Don't want to hear nothing about it. It's interrupting you. Go interrupt somebody that's playing a video game. I saw a couple. The lady went on his video game and deleted his memory of however it went. Oh, he went berserk. This dude he was crying literal tears in a corner because she deleted his his high scores or his scores on his game. I mean, he went ignorant enough, ready to divorce him.
Hey, Shalakia,
Go ahead.
with that particular situation, a lot of people didn't know that brother that's how he made his money. So a lot of guys they'll stream, they'll do a couple things, but that was his full-time job. And
Yeah, that's what I was about to tell you too. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Mm-hmm.
she got mad because he wasn't spending enough time. But that's because I got to see the whole video. He was like, that's how you
Okay.
live in this house. That's how you got
Okay.
a car.
He was
Mm-hmm.
making hundreds of thousands of dollars
Playing the game. That it
playing
was
that
like
game.
it was his
Well,
job, and
that's something different then. Go ahead.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But
You know.
there are people out there. There are people out there that play hours upon hours of just wanting to be the best, quote unquote, or just, this is their favorite thing to do. And it turns into, like I said a while ago, on the last example we gave, it turns into the desire to be the best turns into idolatry, because now you're putting so many hours into playing this video game, being the best at this video game, that, like you said, brother Eliyahu, you're not putting any time into reading your Bible. You're not putting any time into fasting. You're not putting any time into prayer. You're not putting any time into building that connection with the Most High. And that's when it becomes a problem. Same way with the scriptures that we just brought out in Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
To say a woman, you see a woman coming the opposite direction of you, you're walking in the mall, you see a woman and you say, man, that's a beautiful lady right there. Same way for a woman, she sees a man, hey, he is a handsome fellow. It's fine right then, but when you go past that thought of saying, man, that woman look good, I want to get to know, I want to do some things to her, and vice versa for the woman, that's when you are stepping into a whole nother dimension of things that you really shouldn't be stepping into.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hey,
same,
Salaki.
go ahead, bro. Still.
Uh, even to go to the music side of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at in the book of Samuel, I think it's verse 16. Whenever Saul would have that spirit that the Most High put up on him, whenever it would raise up, David would play the harp, and it would ease that spirit, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So just like we was talking about earlier with the eyes and with the ears, now just so well as music from the Most High can soothe the soul, when you listening to drill music and
Mm-hmm.
R&B and trap music and love songs, you know what I'm saying? The songs that got the fornicating lyrics in it.
Mm-hmm.
These lyrics plant lust in us.
Yeah.
And the drill music, it plants anger in us. And the trap music, it plants rebellion into us, bro. Like, and these spirits will raise up. You get out of your car, right? You pulling up to get some gas. And you've been riding for 30 minutes and you ain't been listening to number shoot, kill, 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 rob, steal, kill. You get out of your car and you going into the store and a brother coming out of the store and he accidentally bump into you or accidentally step on a brand new pair of your white Air Force Ones you just bought. What's on your heart? What's on your mind? Kill, kill, kill. So the first thing you gonna do is you gonna say, hey man, blah, 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 blah. Now what if the same spirit on that brother? What if he's not a humble individual? Now
Not
what
deep.
now what you got?
Right.
You got
Right.
two Israelite men ready to do harm to one another, all because of the spirits that was in that music. And God knows what the other brother was listening to on his way to the store. You know what I'm saying? So these things that's going into us have spirits, and they carry. And we just got to be careful, man. Hey, Hebrew, a great lesson, man. I'm looking forward to hearing part 3 of that lesson, Hebrew.
This is what you just got through talking about. What you just talking about, the music is
Yes,
in,
sir.
is it should be in part 3 right here.
Okay.
Transferring through music. Gonna talk a little bit about that drill music. What you just got through mentioning a couple seconds ago.
All praise,
Look,
all praise.
here's another one right here. Transfer spirits through food, water, or alcohol. We're gonna talk about
Wow.
we're
Oh
gonna talk
yeah.
about that in there. Now look, transferring the spirits through objects and other materials. We may think like something psychic or anything like that. Well, You can go in Deuteronomy 22 and 5 and see put on a woman's clothing or a woman put on a man's clothing. Those spirit have that woman being masculine or have that man being effeminate. Look, in New Orleans, they just got through with a red dress, something they had down there
Mm-hmm.
with all the
Yep.
men red dresses on.
Yeah, they doing a run or a march in red dresses, and then to add on to what you saying, brother Eliyahu, there is a trending topic, brothers and sisters. You can look this up. It's a trending topic of men wearing mini skirts
Yeah, yeah.
right
I was gonna
now.
bring that one out too. Yeah.
So you exactly right, and that's bizarre to me because what would even I get wanting to dress nice, but at what point is it too far? Because I ain't wasn't nothing possessed me to wear no miniskirt, yet alone a red dress.
I
I
bet you
don't be getting that.
85% of them. I bet you 85% of them is black men.
You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee it. I ain't even got to see it.
Mm-hmm. In fact, when you pull it up, that's all you gonna see on the cover pictures. You might see one other in nationality in every other picture, but majority of the pictures, effeminate black men or just black men that don't have a clue of what's really going on.
We are the face of all degradation.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, there's one cover story with dealing with the red dress. A married man, sent a story. Yep, there you go, right there. There you go, right there. But a married man sent a picture of him and his friends in the red dress to his wife. His wife told him to not come back home. That,
Hey,
You too.
but think about this though. Think about it. Think about this. Now you look at the people that's outside of the United States, right?
mm-hmm.
When they see these things, all they see is a bunch of American black men in dresses. What do you think that tells? What do you think these people think about us, man? Like, man,
Soft,
these people laugh at us, brother.
soft, not ready for any
Deuteronomy
type of war.
28 is in full effect
Mm-hmm.
by words.
You
Look at them
see?
in words.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, remember, this is not. This is all for the younger generation. Because remember, when we were coming up, what do we have? What did we have? Let's look at this. What did we have when we were coming up? We had the pimps and the hoes. And guess what? We started acting like. We started treating our women with degradation. We started trying to ride in Cadillacs like we saw our fathers and uncles and everybody else when we were coming up. So
Mm-hmm.
guess what they're doing? They're putting these images out now because what gets put on the internet don't go away. So when they go to see certain things, guess what they're going to see? They're not going to see black men in suits. They're not going to see black men like back in the 40s or whatever. They're not going to see businessmen. They're not going to do that. This is all a reversal. This is all almost like what was it called in the Dark Ages, and they did the Renaissance. It's basically they're doing a whole Renaissance, but they're doing it for the degradation of our people, and
That's
that's
right.
because they know that something's coming afoot. Like I don't want to take anybody away, but I keep seeing things online about talking about there's an object headed this way in space. They don't know what it is, but they know what it is. I don't know.
Yep. But
Hey, but you know, Hebrew, what you said about Cadillacs, and y'all can look this up. During the 70s, Cadillac was about to go out of business.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
And the black community saved Cadillac.
Mm-hmm.
Because
yeah,
why? Because they pushed it through the movies.
yep,
Every pimp
yep,
had a Cadillac. Every
yep,
yep.
player had a Cadillac. Every athlete had a Cadillac. So the black community saved Cadillac. I
Mm-hmm.
know that's a little bit off topic, but just to
No, the
bring
black
out,
community save everything. We
hmm
because honestly, that's why they don't want us to have this Shabbat because they what is it? Saturday is the one day that they make most of their money, and if
yep,
Mm-hmm.
we end up doing the Shabbat, a lot of these places they will lose their money because their money is their
Mm-hmm.
power. It's not our power;
Mm-hmm.
it's their power. So they because what we attribute to over $1 trillion a year, just the black community alone. But
Mm-hmm.
the black dollar doesn't cycle, but if one time in the black community before it gets taken out.
Not even one
It
time.
yeah,
All right,
it don't make it. It don't make it through a whole week.
but that was
Mm-mm.
just check it out. Well, we're going to all praise and glory to the Most High. Appreciate y'all for that. Meant to cut you brothers off, but order Melchizedek coming up at 1, and I think we're broadcasting on their channel right now. Also, um, we'll appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for helping me bring this out, man, because y'all make it go by smooth, as smooth as possible. Especially me transitioning from the other channel that I was on onto my own. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. May the Most High. And I love the chat. And I hope y'all got some edification out of the deal, man. Because on this thing, these spirits transfer. We need to be very careful on who we come in contact with, who we look at, who we listen to. Hopefully, part 3 will be coming next week. And may the Most High in Christ continue to bless each and every one of y'all. Y'all check out Order Melchizedek Memphis. I know somebody will be bringing out a great lesson over there today. Most High in Christ bless y'all, man. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat
Shabbat shalom.
shalom.
About Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.